modifying its stance, saying, quote, actually, my patience isn't waning. You make it sound like I'm frustrated when I'm really not.
Real greedy. Good greedy, man. You got on through, man. Yes, sir.
I'm excited to bring you this video today because not only do I get to record in my beautiful studio once again after spending 3 weeks traveling, which creating content on the road is very, very difficult, so I appreciate your guys' patience while I was traveling with my family over the past 3 weeks. But on top of this, there's a lot of good, a little bit of bad, and a lot of mystery as to where the Los Angeles Lakers could go from this point on. And it's one of those situations that are going to reach a conclusion within the next month, because February 9th, 2023 is the trade deadline, and the Los Angeles Lakers are going to have to come to a decision. So make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we got all that out of the way, cue the intro. A lot of you guys have been hitting me up in the DMs telling me how much money you've been making on Prize Picks. A huge shout out to my subscriber Spencer Sims, who's made $7,000 off of his picks over the past 2 weeks. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I play Prize Picks religiously and I post my picks to my story each and every day. And if you want to try out Prize Picks right now, when you use my promo code microphone, you'll get up to a $100 deposit match on your first deposit. And if you get any big hits on Prize Picks, make sure you DM them to me on Instagram so I could feature you in future promos. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mike Chuck 1212. What's going on, everybody? The Los Angeles Lakers have been performing really well recently. I mean, prior to their game versus the Denver Nuggets, which they lost, the Lakers were on quite a bit of a winning streak, thanks in part to Thomas Bryant, who has been dominating with the Lakers in Anthony Davis's absence in his second stint with the Lakers. A lot of people tend to forget that Thomas Bryant was originally drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers, but I digress. As a matter of fact, we have killer insight from Magic Johnson as to why the Los Angeles Lakers have been performing so well lately. According to Magic Johnson, this Lakers team is playing fun and exciting basketball due to, drumroll please, the ball movement and all the players excelling in their roles. Killer analysis by Magic Johnson that I or any other NBA YouTuber or analyst couldn't have told you, but this is in large part due to Thomas Bryant's emergence and Dennis Schroeder performing really well recently. Now, the Lakers are in a very interesting situation. If you remember 1 week ago, LeBron James was starting to become a little bit vague about his future after being very frustrated as to where the Los Angeles Lakers were. And he said this in a post-game press conference where he seemed very frustrated about where the Lakers were and where he currently is in his ability to compete for championships.
I don't want to finish my career, playing at this level from a team aspect.
I might be thinking there wasn't much meat on the bone in this interview. Well, the important part comes here. Listen to what LeBron James says when he is discussing his current situation in the NBA.
I'm going to still be able to compete for championships because I know what I can still bring to any ball club. With the right pieces.
Now note what he says towards the end. I know what I can bring to any ball club with the right pieces. If that isn't a man that isn't imagining himself on a team with the right pieces around him that isn't the Los Angeles Lakers, I don't know what is. Now we did come out with a video on that. I can understand LeBron James's frustration. He is doing what no 38-year-old has ever done in the NBA. It's actually fantastic to watch, and we should appreciate it because we may never see a NBA player with the longevity that LeBron James has ever again. But the thing that has always frustrated me is, you know, that Eric Andre meme where Eric Andre shoots Hannibal Buress and says, why would someone do this? Because that's pretty much what happened. As much respect as I have for LeBron James and his basketball ability, I will hold him accountable when he messes up a team. And in this case, trading for Russell Westbrook, the Lakers. You traded a bunch of players that were not only great shooters, but also played pretty stellar defense and gave your team depth for a player who is trending downwards, doesn't play well with LeBron James and Anthony Davis at all whatsoever, just because he was a former MVP and it didn't work out. And LeBron only could really blame himself, but it seems like he isn't doing that. Now, there's a lot of positive in this video, but I wouldn't be doing this video right if we didn't mention his Sam Amick interview and his response response to the Sam Amick interview. So if you haven't heard about this, it's a couple days old. It came out 2 days ago. I was reading this on my flight back, and believe me, it was a very brutal flight back. And it's from one of our more trusted sources, Sam Amick of The Athletic. So LeBron James to The Athletic on the Lakers roster plans. Y'all know what the be happening. More on his waning patience, how his greatness is forcing this conversation, and why he deserves more help. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a disclaimer. For some reason, LeBron James disputes what he is saying here. So maybe some of his words are being taken out of context, but again, historically, when it's come to roster construction and how he truly feels, LeBron James never has really held himself accountable. So also keep that in mind. Let's skip to the part that's important here. In his most extensive comments yet on the Lakers' lack of upgrades, and more specifically the reluctance to trade the 2027 and 2029 first round picks that some team officials believe would be better used to chase another star player this summer, LeBron James made it clear that his patience is waning. We also do have some speculation as to who the Lakers might potentially pursue. There's a lot to discuss in this video. We're just getting started. Y'all know what the should be happening, he told The Athletic at the end of our brief but revealing conversation. I don't need to talk. With all due respect, I feel like LeBron is saying,
you guys know what I want, I just don't want to say it, because if I do say it, then you guys are going to cause a gigantic circus.
Which, as a person in NBA media, I would agree. We love a nice circus every now and then. But talk he did, and with the February 9th trade deadline nearing, his words will surely be heard inside the Lakers' walls. Question is now whether they'll make a difference. The internal debate regarding those picks and how to use them best has been ongoing since last summer. The Lakers spent the days heading into training camp seriously considering whether to trade Russell Westbrook and both first rounders to the Indiana Pacers in exchange for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. In the end, the choice was made to wait for a deal that made a more significant impact on the Lakers roster, both in the present and the future. And I agreed with this. One, LeBron James is held accountable because he decided that, hey, we should chase Russell Westbrook and gut out our entire roster, and it makes sense for them to do that. And two, a lot of people don't realize this, but those last two first round picks, if they're gone, the Lakers are stuck. This is their team. You can't make any more upgrades. You don't have anyone to trade. So if you bring in Miles Turner and he decides to leave at the end of the season and you had to give up first round pick for him, well, that just sucks. You don't really have another way to make an upgrade to your team. So it made sense to just stand pat and hopefully either Russell Westbrook boosts his value enough to trade him to another team because he is a $48 million expiring contract, or just wait for his contract to run out and keep those two first round picks for a bigger star as opposed to Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, who are great complementary pieces, but that's essentially trying to reverse the Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, Montrezl Harrell trade, if you ask me. Yet somehow, with key players like Austin Reeves and Lonnie Walker IV also out with injuries at the moment, the Lakers, who are 19 and 21 at the time of this article, now find themselves just 1.5 games away from a top 6 spot and 7.5 games away from the Western Conference leading Denver Nuggets. And James, it seems clear, has grown tired of waiting. Following is a transcription of our entire one-on-one conversation, which we shared in its entirety below in the interest of showing the full scope of how James chose to use his voice during this sensitive point in their season. With travel essentials in hand, James strolled towards the team bus and chatted with The Athletic after his post-game news conference with the reporters. And this is where it gets interesting. To see you and the team playing this well, especially with AD out, has me wondering what the conversations with Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss are like these days in terms of the roster. What's the nature of your message? What's the communication like? Man, listen, I play the game. I worry about who's in the locker room. I can't. It's not my job. It's not my job. I can't do nobody else's job. You can kind of see how he's about to contradict himself here. But LeBron, you're 38 and you're doing things that never been done. So LeBron responds saying, I know that. And the idea that a team would hold on to some picks and wait for next year, ... LeBron's response, well, if you guys know, then you guys know. You guys know. I don't need to talk about it. You guys know. Sam, if you stay quiet, then time's going to keep marching on. No? LeBron, listen, you guys know. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Sam, but is that conversation with ownership and management evolving? So it's kind of funny because Sam Amick is like, okay,
well, I know that you want this team to make a big trade, but how are the conversations with Rob and Jeannie going?
It doesn't sound like they're going the way he wants. And he's playing the, hey, I'm too busy for this card right now, saying I'm working, I don't have time, we're playing every other day, 3 out of 4 nights, I don't have time to be. And this is where it gets a little childish in my opinion. Sam says, right, but we have cell phones, we can call people. LeBron says, listen, I'm doing my job, that's all I can do. And Sam would respond saying, but how's your patience level? Is that aspect of this situation tugging at you? LeBron responded by saying they're doing what they feel is best for the franchise. Sam's final question is, how do you feel about that? And LeBron would say, I'm doing what's best for my guys in the locker room. That's all I can worry about. Y'all know what be happening. I don't need to talk. Just pause this video for a second. When LeBron says, I don't need to talk, what is he implying? No one's reading this article saying,
Hey, LeBron is saying, you know what should be happening. The Lakers should be holding on to their draft picks and waiting for Russell Westbrook's contract to expire in order to chase free agents and make sure they could get the best star player possible.
no, there's no way he's thinking that. I mean, seriously, is there a single person in the comment section? Is there a single person watching this video that thinks that right now? No, LeBron is implying that he wants a trade to be made, and I can understand that. The West is currently wide open. The Lakers do have a legitimate shot given how the Western Conference is shaken out this year. LeBron James would then clarify his comments and do damage control, where he would quote this exact article saying, hey Sam, actually, my patience isn't waning. You make it sound like I'm frustrated when I'm really not. I told you over and over, my job is focused on the guys in the locker room. My job isn't the roster. That's the reality of the conversation. And I said what I said with the utmost respect and calmness, and that's the mood I'm in. You're welcome. 5-game winning streak, wink face king. Look, man, the LeGM meme exists for a reason. Everyone knows how involved LeBron James is in roster construction. And to be honest, LeBron is right. What he told Sam is that he's focused on the guys in the locker room and his job isn't the roster. But I don't think there's anyone that's watching this video that doesn't think LeBron James isn't focused on roster construction, especially if he keeps on saying,
Y'all know what should be happening.
he's implying a specific something. But here's where things get a little complicated, because the Lakers were on this 5-game win streak prior to their game against the Denver Nuggets. They have some good news, which is either good news or bad news given the timing of this news. According to sources, Anthony Davis is ramping up rehab and is eyeing a return. And to be honest, this is way quicker than I thought. Anthony Davis missed his 13th straight game when the Lakers lost to the Nuggets due to a bone spur fractured off of his navicular bone in the right foot, as well as a stress reaction. Dude, my brother is like 2 years away from graduating from podiatry school. The moment he does, we'll be able to get his analysis on all of these injuries, whether the players are getting rushed back way too quickly or not. I'm really excited for that, because the only thing I know about the navicular bone is it's on the foot. I might be thinking, why could this be bad for the Lakers? If they're getting Anthony Davis back, this could only be a good thing. Well, my concern is that the Lakers would potentially rush to make a move that they probably wouldn't have made if Anthony Davis wasn't healthy. What do I mean by that? Well, the Lakers are without a doubt one of the buyers during this trade deadline. But my fear is Anthony Davis comes back way too quickly. The Lakers say, hey, we definitely could make a run here now that we got AD back. Let's go ahead and trade a first-round pick for Bojan Bogdanovic. Who cares that he's turning 34 years old? And then Anthony Davis will get injured during the wrong time, and unfortunately, the Lakers would have burned a future first-round pick for absolutely nothing. What I'm thinking is, what if we get a repeat of the 2021 NBA season when the Los Angeles Lakers would lose to the Phoenix Suns? There's a lot of ways the Lakers can make upgrades at this point, and probably the biggest pipe dream is the Lakers are reportedly doing their best to hold on to their future first-round picks because they're keeping their eye out on 2-star players that could potentially be disgruntled with their teams. According to Mark Stein, the Lakers remain resistant to a deal that would see it sacrificing both of its tradable future first-round picks in 2027 and 2029 in exchange for role player depth. As we know, the Lakers balked on a deal that would send Indiana Pacers sharpshooting vets Miles Turner and Buddy Hield to the Lakers for Russell Westbrook and the draft selections during the 2022 offseason. Stein writes that the team also decided against trading the combined salaries of Patrick Beverley and Kendrick Nunn, totaling $18.3 million, plus one totally unprotected pick for a sharpshooting veteran, sensing a trend in Detroit Pistons power forward Bojan Bogdanovic. Stein notes that some rival executives still believe the Lakers are holding onto their picks in the hopes that all-star shooting guards Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine become available. As Stein writes, both vets come with their own injury-related caveats at this point. Is either player worth moving both those picks? Well, LaVine is an elite shooter and decent passer, while Beal is still a high-level scorer, albeit not at LaVine's level, but a slightly better ball handler. Bradley Beal is trending towards Damian Lillard territory for me at this point, mainly because he is in trade rumors each and every offseason, each and every trade deadline sign and he never gets traded. I mean, if I'm the Washington Wizards, I would be interested in the future first round picks that the Lakers have, considering how they're stuck in purgatory right now. And the Chicago Bulls are a completely different story. They've definitely been underwhelming so far this year. I think any of these teams could use 2 future first round picks, but I just feel like I've been waiting on Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine to get traded for the longest time. They never do end up getting traded. And I don't want to come off as the typical Laker fan that thinks we're getting each and every superstar on the market. At the end of the day, I think the Lakers are going to do what I said that they were going to do at the beginning of the season. Maybe they're able to get some shooting either through free agency or by trading some of their role players, but I expect them to hold on to their future first round picks for the reasons that Mark Stein actually says. They want to wait to see if another star player will become disgruntled. Once Russell Westbrook's contract expires, the Lakers will be in a position to add significantly more help for LeBron James this offseason. Yeah, it sucks because it's going to be LeBron's age 39 season, but it's way better than trading future first round picks for players that might be role players that might leave after this season. So let me know in the comment section down below, what would you do if you're the Los Angeles Lakers? Will Anthony Davis save the Lakers? Or would a trade for a role player save the Lakers? Maybe Bradley Beal or Zach LaVine saves the Lakers. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.